We know everything that's physical got a spiritual aspect anyway.
Con. All right. So now let's do this. If your spirit is right, you're not gonna take the mark of the beast anyway. I'm gonna say it again. If your spirit is right, you're not gonna take a physical representation of the mark anyway. But I don't necessarily believe it's a chip. I believe it's the ideologies and the philosophies of wickedness that causes you to go off. And as we brought out in previous scriptures, how they
So make a fist and squeeze the tag to the top of my skin. And when I approach the device, it opens the Facebook page I set it to.
Colin Cravino has a microchip implanted in both of his hands.
Some people just look really grossed out. I put my hand up and I let them poke at it and they freak out.
Developed in the 1950s and 60s, RFID chips, short for radio frequency identification, have been used by retailers to track packages and prevent theft. Farmers use the chips to keep tabs on their livestock. Pet owners use them to identify their cats and dogs. And lately, members of the so-called body hacker movement have been implanting RFID chips under their skin, programming them to perform various tasks. Colin Cravino, a smartphone repairman in Brooklyn, New York, uses his chips to open his front door. He found them on a website called Dangerous Things that sells implant kits and offers user tips.
I came across it when I was doing research on the Samsung deadbolt that I bought. And then the first thing that I noticed was that I could get an RFID tag that would work with the deadbolt.
Cravino plans to modify one of his motorcycles next.
And I haven't decided on where I want to put the authenticator, the antenna. Thinking probably down by the seat somewhere because this comes off. So I would just tap my hand on it. Then the light would come on as if I put the key in. And then I would just hit the ignition and start the vehicle.
RFID retailers estimate that between 30 and 50,000 people worldwide have chip implants in their bodies. German tech consultant Andreas Sjöström used his chip as a boarding pass on a recent flight from Stockholm to Paris, and to get into an airport VIP lounge. Skeptics say the implants raise privacy issues and worry that strangers could tap into the information on a chip without.
Banking industry, what they wanted to accomplish. And the goals of the banking industry, not just the Federal Reserve System, but the private banks in Germany and England, all over Italy, all over the world, they all work together. They're all central banks, and they're all part of the Communist Manifesto. You know, central banking is one of the major planks of the Communist Manifesto. We talk about America being a capitalistic country, but yet at the same time we have a central bank that plans everything for us, right? And the graduated income tax is another plank of the Communist Manifesto, right? So right there you have two major planks of the Communist Manifesto that have been brought in because of the Federal Reserve System, okay? So the ultimate goal that these people have in mind is the goal to create a one world government run by the banking industry, run by the bankers, and they're doing it in sections. The European currency, the euro, and the European Constitution is one part of it. Now they're trying to do it in America with the North American Union, right? And they want to create a new currency called the Amero, right? And the whole agenda is to create a one world government where everybody has an RFID chip implanted in them. All money is to be in those chips, right? There'll be no more cash. And this is giving me straight from Rockefeller himself. This is what they want to accomplish. And all money will be in your chips. And so instead of having cash, anytime you have money in your chip, they can take out whatever they want to take out whenever they want to. If they say you owe us this much money in taxes, they just deduct it out of your chip digitally.
Total control.
Total control. And if you're like me or you, and you're protesting what they're doing, they can just turn off your chip. And you have nothing. You can't buy food. You can't do anything. It's total control of the people.
First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash, double honor to the elders and apostles, great millstone for ruling well and teaching us his truth. And peace and salutations to all you Akiyam and Hawas and Bowers doing his work sincerely and faithfully. I'm the brother One. It's coming with a quick hit. As you can see, the videos we've seen all going into the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip. And I got it right here in Revelation 13 and 16, where it says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number in his name." As you just finished seeing that man Aaron Russo, who had in a meeting or a talk with a top banking family, with a guy named by the name of Rockefeller, and pretty much he was spilling the beans on their plans, on their future plans, which we know as the New World Order, how they want to establish and implement this RFID microchip to have total control over the masses. And we just seen those two young bucks over there in the video. Well, the one on the left-hand side pretty much was saying that, if you was in the right spirit, you won't take the physical mark, which eventually he's admitting that the physical mark is the chip. But then again, he reneged and pretty much said that he don't believe that the mark of the beast is the chip, but rather it's a philosophy or ideology. And you done heard other interpretation as if the mark of the beast is sin, and some people say it's an embargoment, or even sleeping with a white woman, which all those interpretations are wrong or false. This is why Scripture says we got to mark them that cause this division contrary to the Scriptures, contrary to what we've been taught. Here at Great Millstone, we have the 100% truth. The Lord has revealed these mysteries unto us through his Holy Spirit, which gives us the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And we are able to break down and understand exactly what the interpretations of these prophecy means. And when you go in the word mark, right, it says the word mark is in the Greek, it means charagma. And we're going to see what the definition of what mark is. And this is why our elders can't stress enough for us to go and study the words, the etymology of words, so we can get an understand the origins of what the words really mean, and understand it in their proper context. And when you go into the definition of mark, it says a stamp, an imprint mark. It says of the mark stamped on the forehead or in the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. It says the mark branded upon horses, things carved, sculpture, graven works. It says of idolatrous images. But the one we're dealing with, it says a mark on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. And as well, it says the mark branded upon horses. So this is talking about a physical mark. It's talking about something's going to be implanted, into someone's skin or into their forehead, which we know that forehead is referring to the brain, because this guy, what's his name, Elon Musk, was pretty much investing in making these brain chips, these neural links, which shows you that what the prophecy says about them putting a mark on your right hand on your forehead goes right along with the scriptures. And as you can see in the other videos, that there's people already that's taking the mark of the beast, which is the chip, right, already in their right hand, which they're able to do things as well. Open doors, start their car, pay for their flight, and various countries already have this system in place. And we even had a place in here in the United States, in Wisconsin, called the 3 Square Market, which it says 3/5 of his work, 2/3 of his worker has already done taken the chip. So there's no shadow of doubt that the mark of the beast is the chip. You know, here is Esau, Edom, the devil, the wicked, is here manufacturing these chips once by this company called VeriChip to push these things, because this is going to be the new currency that's going to be ruling the world. They're trying to have everyone under one government, under one currency. You see, one rulership, under a new world order, and this is their benchmark. This is their benchmark, and we see that they're gonna get rid of the dollar, and all your money is gonna be counted into these chips, where they're gonna have total control, where they're gonna play God, where they could go ahead and turn off your chip, and you could be outcast from society, where you can't buy or sell except you have this chip. But even so, having this chip, they have total control over you by shutting it off, and you're not going to be able to purchase or trade or have any services without this chip being turned on. Which better way to enslave the whole population, the whole masses, by the way of this new technology? We understand that the ideology, philosophy is not cutting it. That has nothing to do with the new world order and their system, how they want to govern everyone, how they want to know your location. You don't want to know all your information, which is going to be on this chip that's going to be located into these database, which is going to be easy to control you from afar away, So we know that the mark is referring to an incision, to a physical mark. It says the mark branded upon horses. As we see in the other video, it says that they already had microchips in these livestock, in animals, and they've been doing this since the 1950s and 60s. Now we're in the time where we're starting to see these things manifest, where in this country there's something called a hyperinflation, and how America is sitting in debt. At any moment, the stock market is going to crash. And in order for them to keep tabs and control, they're going to have to issue this chip on everything that's going to take place, which is set up. They're going to crash the market on purpose. They made it so eventually they could tear it down, because they're going to introduce what? This RFID microchip, this radio frequency identification. This is going to be the new way to identify you. This is going to be the real ID Act from 2021 and on, until the Lord comes back and destroy this devil. But this is what he's trying to do, fulfill his enterprise, And for you to say that this is an ideology or philosophy, or it's sin, or it's an embargoment, you are totally off. You're totally off. Because an embargoment has nothing to do with the whole masses. Because he said he calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, to receive a mark. You understand, us, our people, we're not in a position to make demands and make trades with any other nation. The scripture says that we are under curses, right? When you go in the book of Deuteronomy, was it 28, I believe? Was it 46? I could be wrong, but Deuteronomy, no, actually it's 48. Pretty much, he says we should serve our enemy, whom the Lord shall send against us, and hunger and thirst and nakedness and the want of all things. So we know that an embargoment, that can't be it, because we're going to that enemy for want of all things, because we've been disenfranchised as a nation, as a people, we're under captivity, and we're under Esau, Edom, the so-called white man's rule, under his thumb, which subjected unto him. So we can't be in a position to make trades or put sanction or ban anything from any country. And obviously it can't be sin. The mark can't be sin, because if it was then the mark of the beast would have been from the beginning, during the time of Adam and Eve. And also, obviously, it's not an ideology or philosophy, because once this continued from a heritage, the nation of Israel was pretty much bouncing to and fro in every wind of doctrine, you know. Even so, where the Lord said it, what was it, in the book of, I believe it's Galatians 1:6, pretty much we says that he marveled that we were so soon removed from him that called us from the grace of the Lord unto another gospel. We have our people buying into this comedic belief. Most our people think that the real God are the gods of the Muslim, you know. Our people want to be Buddhist, you know, want to be Afrocentric. So our people them bounce to and fro to these different philosophy and ideology. So if that's the mark of the beast, then we all guilty of it. Then we all fell short, and we all gonna be doomed. There's gonna be no hope. But it wasn't talking about those ideology or philosophy or religion. This mark was a physical mark, which is going to be implantation of this chip. And to further prove it, you know, I'm gonna make this short. I'm gonna hit this point, then I'm gonna close it out. When you go in the text commentary, right, and you go in the C2000 series on Revelations 13 and 15. This man mixing the perfect observation that pretty much shows you that the mark of the beast is the chip, which I'm gonna get. This is a commentary from Chuck Smith, and when you go down to Revelations 16. I'm gonna go right to the point too, because there's a lot of BS in here too. But for the most part, this is accurate, you know. Bear with me. Right. It says this, and he caused everyone, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or on their foreheads. And the point is right here. It's right here where it says, now there is a course already talked about implanting of computer chips under the skin on a person's hand for a positive identification. It is the same kind of thing as the smart card. It will be the same kind of computer chip implanted under the skin of your hand. And it would do the same thing. It would keep track of your accounts so you can never overdraw. It could replace money completely, which that's what it is. Because without that chip, you ain't gonna buy or sell nothing. It says the computers could keep the whole accounting. The chip would establish your limits, and you would do all your buying and selling with the mark that is in your right hand. You see? So that's what it's talking about. It's talking about the chip, you know? It's talking about the chip. This is why they're weaning you off the dollar. You know, some places don't take cash, you know? Because what? This is going to be a cashless society. This is why they're getting you used to these, making these e-commerce transaction, buying things online, or only accepting debit and credit card. And you notice they have a chip in it. Because eventually that's what's going to happen. That they're going to make it a mandatory to have this RFID microchip embedded in people's skin, you know. But this is what the people don't understand. This is what you call a gradualism, because even they're doing it, conditioning people with the situation that's going on with this pandemic. You know, they're having you wear masks, social distancing, and ultimately now what they're doing, they're bringing out this this vaccine. You have to take the vaccine, mandatory. If you don't, you won't be able to have entries or access to certain buildings, to stores, you know. And they brought this vaccine card to let people inform that you've been vaccinated, that you're certified. But from the vaccine, it's going to lead to what? To this chip. You know, this is that prelude to what's to come. But this is to get people on board. This is to slowly but surely put it upon them without people thinking that they're being forced, and as well as the information that's going out, you know, about the truth. The men on the highways and byways pushing just words and giving people warning. You know, people are aware of what's going on, you know, so they got to make sure that people have to, you know, go back to sleep, so to say, and pretty much be reprogrammed, reconditioned, and brainwashed in order for them to accept it, which they are, because it's going to come a point in time where you're not going to buy or sell. It's going to be chaos. The stock market is going to crash, you know, and all hell is going to break loose. Martial law is going to be rolled in. This vaccine is going to be taking place. And they're going to be leading people to these concentration camps. And what you think they're going to do there? You know, Esau has a way of going about things. He has a way of fulfilling it, fulfilling his agenda. And we know this is all prophecy. So it is going to come to pass, because scripture says what? To show you that this can't be a philosophy. Because when you go in Revelation 20:4, it says this. It says, and I saw the thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the words of Yahweh, which have not worshipped the beast, nor his image, neither have received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they live and reign with Yahushua 1,000 years. You see, so this is going to be put upon everyone. Like he said, he calls all both, small and great, rich and poor, to receive a mark on their right hand and their forehead. But the men of the Lord, the elect, are not going to take it. That they're going to be beheaded, that they're going to die, because they're going to refuse not to receive it in their head, in their heads or in their forehead. You see, which that's a physical mark. Again, that's a physical mark, because what does philosophy has to do anything with your hands? You know, what does embargo has to do anything with your hands? What does a mark of sin has to do anything with your hands or your forehead? You know, so it's showing you that the men of the Lord, some of them are going to be beheaded because they're going to refuse to take this chip, and refuse to bow down to that new world order. You know, following that system. You know, worshiping Satan. You know, and that's the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? That's the bottom line. Because we went in the word mark, it says a stamp or a badge of the Antichrist. So there's going to be something that's going to be required to be in league with the system. And we just heard from Aaron Russo talking about the whole plan and the agenda of the elites is to have a one microchip. You know, and we're seeing that this implantation of the chip is already being rolled out. You know, it's just a matter of time where he wants the whole world to have this RFID microchip implanted in them. But the elect is not going to take it, because we know we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. And two, wisdom and knowledge is going to be just that bit at our time. You know, we know not to take it because the Lord has revealed these mysteries onto us. You know, but with that, I hope it's edifying. I want to give all praises and glory and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakah Quadash, double honor to elders and apostles, a great millstone for ruling well and teaching us his truth. And peace and citation to all you Akim on the highways and byways whose work sincerely and faithfully. With that, I say shalom.